Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke is made possible by our guests and tax-deductible donations from friends and listeners like you. Join us in empowering stroke survivors with stories of wisdom, purpose, connection, and hope at www.beyondstillness.org.
This week on Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke, we spotlight guest Anthony Parsons, who was a professional drummer in the rock band Problem with Polly. On December 29th, 2021, Anthony's brain was starved of oxygen for an hour. After 3 weeks in a coma, Anthony woke with a feeling of total acceptance and has since been contemplating the depths of the experience and its meaning for his life. Anthony invites us to join him in reflecting upon who he is and why he is here. Anthony's story is entitled Long and Winding Road. Thank you for joining us for Part 2, Anthony Parsons' interview. Hello and welcome to Beyond Stillness. Stroke offers a powerful, life-changing shift in perspective. Each colorful memory creates a parable for life's greater teachings, a compass for journeys ahead, and inspired wisdom for unique growth. This radio show, Beyond Stillness, offers an hour of pause for storytelling and reflection. Ultimately, Beyond Stillness is a welcoming environment that reveres the moment beyond stroke's paralysis. Still moments unite humanity and divinity. I'm your host, Molly Bucola. This week, we welcome guest Anthony Parsons of Indianapolis, Indiana. Anthony suffered a noxious brain injury on December 29th, 2021. Anthony has come to realize that his relationships, talents, and turbulent upbringing prepared him for the challenges of recovery. He invites us to join him in reflecting on his long and winding road through life and recovery, while also gazing ahead to the unknown beyond. Anthony's story is entitled Long and Winding Road. Before we begin, we'll start with a moment of pause, grounding ourselves, creating space to listen to ways that we feel moved by each other's stories. Today especially, we honor the long and winding road of our own lives. We give thanks for the people who have showed up at just the right time. And we give thanks for those moments of serendipity, those moments of joy and connection. Ways that we found purpose, and ways that we see hope. Today especially, we give thanks for that long and winding road we call life, this opportunity to live. Anthony, thank you for sharing your reflections on your long and winding road, your journey through life and into recovery. You have points of absolute tragedy and pain. You have points of triumph. You also use your humor.
As I get through this, I'm trying to get some humor out of it. I have a good sense of humor, and this is pretty hilarious what happened. I mean, the irony, drummer, can't move his arms. I mean, come on, it's hilarious. I think I'm some going places. Think again, jackass, I need to look at life like that, Everyone has stuff. I'm lucky enough to have some irony in my serendipity.
Yeah, tell me about serendipity. What does serendipity mean to you?
Yeah, it's so much now and before that I can reflect on the numbers, my mom, and how my wife saved me, my dog. I think serendipity is somewhat of a path for all of us. My path seems like laid out in ways I can't comprehend.
I love pondering that. Will you tell me about the Forrest Gump quote that you shared at one point?
Yeah, Forrest Gump, one of my favorite movies, one of my mom's favorite too. There's some serendipity talk towards the end. Forrest is trying to figure out whether Lieutenant Dan, who feels like everything is there's life laid out for him, his relatives all died in battle. He's supposed to die in battle. Or if his mom's right, we're all just bouncing into each other randomly. And he comes to figure that it's both. So basically, Forrest is wrestling with the battle between fate and randomness of life.
When you watch that movie and so much of your life has been played out to you up to this point, what does that quote mean to you now?
Forrest stumbles into great things over his life. Before I died, I think I was more on free will. I made myself, I took a lot of pride in getting out of Balboa and moving to Indy, and I had a lot of help along the way. But I still think, was that fate? Was that serendipity? All that help? Was that supposed to happen? Or did I manifest all this? It's an excellent question.
How does the relationship between fate and free will carry you in your recovery?
I think it's motivating. I think I'm not supposed to be unhappy. Whatever fate is laid out for me, I can make the best out of any situation.
When we first met, you were talking about your upbringing and how that informs your recovery.
Yeah, I was able to endure. I survived. I was a survivor, something my mom was too. And I think she empowered me to be a survivor.
How do you think that has helped you in your recovery?
In every way, I really feel a lot closer to her now that she's gone and I've survived this. I want to make her proud in a different way. I used to want to make her proud by my achievements, chasing my goals, because I knew that was important to her. She never got a chance to see her goals come to fruition. And I know that she was really happy to see all my progress and accomplishments. Now that I'm in this recovery period, I know that she's still here. She's empowering me every day to be the best person I can, a kinder person, more positive person. She helps me to battle internal voices of negativity and inspires me to go somewhere beyond what image my dad put in my head.
Wow, Anthony. Sounds like you're using your free will to move past your circumstances, to grow beyond that which you've been given. In your story, you talked about waking from the coma with deep and total acceptance. So where does acceptance come into play here?
I don't have a choice now. I accept where I'm at, wherever that is, but not get complacent. I think complacency and acceptance can be slippery slope.
What's the difference between complacency and acceptance?
I see it like you can accept who you are, where you're at in life, but that doesn't mean you have to stay there.
You told me that you were reading a book recently that helped you with habits. What book was that? And how does that play into this?
Yeah, Atomic Habits, great book. The author teaches that small, consistent steps over time lead to giant leaps. Being able to accept where you are and still take little steps, I think, is doable in recovery. Recovery is different for everyone, but I feel like we all share some common themes, and I think the battle between acceptance and complacency is one we all share.
In your story, you said the people that you've met since your brain injury listen. They hear your story. The people that you've met through recovery groups seem positive, inspired, and supportive. My guess is that you're one of those people for others. Please tell me about a couple specific people or groups that have been supportive.
Yeah, Karen Thompson at Love Your Brain Yoga. She's the instructor. She is very welcoming. Previous guests of yours, Hub Miller, I've met through the groups and so keep in touch with him. Great inspiration. They reach out accepting of me with my struggles. They're available, always answer when I hit them up. Just knowing that I'm not alone, I think that's important. Even though, like, they're not with me, I still feel their presence, their support.
How have you been there for others in their recovery?
Well, same way. Always available. And I think just trying to be positive and honest at the same time with them gives them perspective. And I know Karen really takes this brain injury community seriously, and she appreciates my consistency in the program and my attitude. So yeah, just trying to bring positivity. I like to participate. So I've done it since I had my injury. I've been participating. So I think a familiar face is always nice.
Yeah. In your story, you talk about how you've always been shy. You were shy before the brain injury and you're shy now. And you also talked about being alone a lot. And I hear you saying, yes, I like my alone time, and I like feeling supported, and I like supporting people. That's another balance.
Yeah.
It sounds like you've shared a lot of valuable conversations with your groups. You told me at one point you and the group discussed the word damaged. Will you share an overview of that conversation?
Yeah, when I first got out, I would refer to myself as brain damaged because, that's how I felt. And talking it through, I'm not brain damaged. I have a brain injury, and injuries heal. So I don't refer to myself in conversation as brain damage, was trying to be funny or make a joke about it. I refer to myself as having a brain injury, and injuries heal.
Ooh, that's good. Injuries heal. How do you feel you're healing right now?
A lot of ways. I think right now, I'm healing the most emotionally. That's probably a good place to start. My ability to be positive in life has always been so challenged, and I want to be positive. I think introduction to as many opportunities for growth and maturity as a rock star. I didn't have to grow quotes around rock star. That's what I thought I was and how I acted. It's time for me to grow up. I was a kid, a 42-year-old kid when I died. Maybe recovery has to do with growing up.
Growth can be really painful, a lot of ups and downs. In your story, you said, it is a roller coaster of ups and downs. Right now, I'm coming up from a low. I am focusing on the little improvements as clicks that gradually pull the roller coaster back to the top. So what are some of those little clicks that are pulling you back up?
I think just getting out, it's getting warm out now, enjoying the weather helps pull that coaster up. Working on the things I need to do to heal. Working on my speech, my dexterity, and my arms, my grip. I have issues with my arms and my hands and fingers. Working on that, really just trying to be a human.
In your story, you mentioned not knowing exactly what your newfound calling is yet, but you feel it. What does that feel like? And how is it different from when you first found your newfound calling as a musician?
I'm not sure what my calling is, but I'm feeling it has to do with helping people in some capacity. And the evolution of me becoming a musician took a long time. And I'm not sure, but I know that it has something to do with helping people. And I think in that same sense, I knew when I listened to the Nirvana, it spoke to me in a way that music in general spoke to me. So I just feel it. I feel so good when I know that I've made a difference, whatever little difference it could be, even a small. And it really touches me, like it makes me feel whole, like music did. So I want to follow that path, want to follow that road, see where that might wind and lead me to.
Thank you, Anthony. Your depth and curiosity really creates a space for other people. And I think that that is part of what you're giving to the world, part of how you're helping people. So thank you for spending time with me.
My pleasure. The journey is what makes the memories. When people seem interested, I'm willing to share.
Thank you. As we close today, we take a moment to reflect back on our own long and winding roads. The whole road. The people we've met along the way, the moments of serendipity, the moments of choice, the moments that we've overcome, and the moments we've felt whole. We pause now for those moments we felt whole and wonder, what are we now called to do? How can we step up and offer our talents, our strengths, our personalities, our experiences to serve others? Anthony mentioned he felt a calling, being here to help. In what ways can we open our hearts, our minds, our schedules in order to help others? Today we give thanks for a long, long and winding road. And we ask for courage to continue forward and to be the people we are meant to be. And we give thanks. Thank you for devoting time and space to listen to Part 2, Anthony Parsons' interview. For the full story, please listen to Part 1, Anthony Parsons' story. Each colorful memory creates a parable for life's greater teachings, a compass for journeys ahead, and inspired wisdom for unique growth. In this episode of Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke, we heard from guest Anthony Parsons, whose brain was starved of oxygen for an hour on December 29th, 2021. Anthony shared his thoughts on the questions, who am I? And why am I here? His story is entitled Long and Winding Road. Thanks again for listening. And remember, as part of the stroke community, you are more than supportive. You are inspirational.
If you are part of the stroke community and have a story you'd like to share on the show, please contact us. Email molly@beyondstillness.org.
Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke is made possible by our guests and tax-deductible donations from friends and listeners like you. Join us in empowering stroke survivors with stories of wisdom, purpose, connection, and hope at www.beyondstillness.org. Another way to support is to like, share, or subscribe to our weekly show. Again, thank you for devoting time and space for this week's episode of Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke.